Hello YouTube, I'd like to welcome you all to my solar shed. In the shed we have a 2000 watt reliable pure sine wave inverter. It's from Reliable Electric. It's powered by these 4 deep cycle batteries. There's 2 interstate and 2 interprovincial batteries. Wiring's not great, I'll be going over that to clean that all up later. This is my solar charge controller, which is an epever 20 amp model MPPT charge controller, followed by a PWM 8.5 amp solar charge controller from Coleman. Those are receiving power from 2 150 watt panels, and the Coleman is receiving the power from those 2 30 watt panels on the roof. I bought an additional extra for my charge controller, which is a Wi-Fi module that allows my phone here to be able to receive the information that the charge controller is seeing, as there's no screen on it and it's convenient to have inside. Now, as you can see, the last time I refreshed this, it was making 123.66 watts. I'll refresh it again just to see what it's making now. Looking at about 116.29 watts. Now we are in October, nearing the end of the month, so I'm in Ontario, Canada, so it's getting quite cold and not having the best of days here. Now if you look, I broke my 1 kilowatt hour of power just a few minutes ago, right before I posted this video. Let's see if I've broken my kilowatt hour. One kilowatt hour. So, thanks for being here to experience that with me. And all that power is being pushed into these 4 deep cycle batteries, 120 amp hours apiece. So that makes 480 amp hours between the battery bank, 240 usable. I could drain it further if I wanted to kill the batteries in an emergency situation. However, I hope not to do that. I've built this makeshift battery rack to keep it off the ground, so I can bring these off the concrete, and I'm going to insulate them over the course of the winter, so it hopefully helps improve battery performance. This is my new 2000 watt Reliable Electric pure sine wave inverter. So far it's working out to be a great inverter. However, there was one factory defect. The voltmeter here, as you can see, is not connected to the front of the panel. If you look inside, what they use to adhere that is what appears to be hot glue. Not a huge fan of that. However, everything else seems to be great. One other thing I'd like to point out is that the neutral or ground, I forget which one this is yellow instead of green, which be careful when you're wiring it, or else you can short out the inverter. Glad I let everyone know that. So over here I have 3 wires connected to my negative terminal and 3 wires connected to my positive terminal. So I believe these are dual 8 gauge as well as a single 4 gauge connection that runs down to my batteries. Same situation for the positives, except for I have one of the positive wires fused. I am going to be working on fusing the whole positive side. It's just a new system, and I haven't gotten that far yet. That being said, the inverter seems to be able to do its rated power. However, I have not yet overloaded it, and I have ran this 13 amp table saw off of it. I do also have, connected to the load side of my charge controller, a 12 volt socket, which can be used for doing different things, such as inflating my bicycle tires with my bike pump, and running different 12 volt appliances and accessories off of it. This wire you're seeing up here is just an extension cable that loops back and over around to my workbench, where I have 2 LED lights. One's here, a sliding compound miter saw, as well as a few battery chargers, hot air guns, and different things. I also have a large load, which is my electric mountain bike charger. There's the bike. A few other odds and ends I have are this, oops, if I don't break it, 75 watt X-Power Xantrex inverter, as well as a 175 watt model from X-Power. You can mount this into the 12 volt socket up here, and you're able to use that. I was using it to power some Christmas lights, and it's set to the timer. With the Christmas lights, it only draws like about 4 or 5 amps, and this is capable of outputting 20, so it's not a big issue. The epever 20 amp hour charge controller seems to be running nice and cold, albeit the time of year. It is nice and cold outside, but it isn't even warm.